Hi everyone, how's it going, everybody? I would like to welcome you on our every Thursday tap room, and today's topic is StarWind Hyper-Converged platform, Hyper-V most integrated hyper-converged platform. Yeah, it's like looks like Captain Obvious wrote it. So, making a long story short, this is tap room, and which means that this is not like classical webinar. I'd like to everyone to relax and enjoy the atmosphere of what is gonna happen today. If you guys will have any like question or something, just you know, don't be afraid. Just type them in immediately. If there will be a really interesting question, I will unmute the one who actually asked that question, and we'll have the live conversation instead of traditional webinar like type in the question and maybe someday somehow you'll get the answer. So okay, another reminder. So it's a tap room is actually the thing, the event type that StarWind started, and we are mostly concentrating on keeping informal atmosphere here. And today your host is myself. My name is Anatoly Vilchinsky, and you guys can call me Tony actually. I'm heading the support department at StarWind Software Incorporated. I have 6+ years of QA and technical support experience at StarWind Software Incorporated, and I have 7+ years in IT industry experience. And also, I'm hosting the StarWind Tap Room and webinar series, and also, I'm actually writing a lot of white papers, which some of you guys could read. So the technical paper, so as like forums. You can also guys see me on Spiceworks, or blah blah blah. And I see a lot of new people here, so I'd like to welcome new people here. Hello Vladislav, hi Steve, hi Yap Kim Hong. And I predict that there will be hi Greg. So sorry. I predict that there will be one question that a lot of you are gonna ask. Will that webinar be recorded? The answer is yep, definitely. The tap room is being recorded right now, and the record will be available really soon. I'm pretty sure that we'll upload it within 24 hours to our YouTube channel, and you can see the address on your screens right now. And before we will start and move forward with the whole presentation itself and agenda and all the talks about the hyperconverged platform, I'd like to make a quick check, sound check and video check. So let me please know if some of you don't hear me or some of you don't see the picture. Right now you should see myself smiling, kind of happy. Um, well, I would appreciate if you could drop me some. Okay, so okay, if in some point in time you will have some audio or video issues, on my experience, that mostly should be GoToMeeting, and try to relog into it. That won't take much time. So I see that few of few of attendees have issues with audio. Try to do that right now. So you'll have a couple of minutes to relog in while I'll accomplish this slide and while I will talk about the agenda. Okay, so tap on page 4, my face. Enough of my face for today. And agenda. So today I'm gonna, again, Captain Obvious, I'm gonna talk about the hyperconverged platforms. Yeah, I know that actually topic sounded like Hyper-V, hyperconverged platform only, but actually I will highlight the something else today. So I'll highlight what options do we have when talking about the hyperconverged platforms. We'll concentrate on each option, and surprise, surprise, there are two of them. and I will talk what I will say what exactly included into the hyper-converged platform, and talk about the benefits of the solution, and I will talk a little bit about why exactly this bundle works like a bundle, and obviously I will talk about the benefits of that bundle itself. And after that, we'll have the QA session where all the answers gonna be, well, all the questions gonna be answered and addressed. And nevertheless, another reminder that you guys can add the question all the time. If there will be one good question that actually will be like perfect hit for the current slide, you'll be online, guys. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that I gave enough of time for guys to log in, for those guys who had audio and video connections and problems and something else. So let's move to today's topic. Okay, so first of all, who exactly wants theoretically to use that thing? Who exactly wants to use the hyper-converged platform? So first of all, we are concentrating on the SMBs and on the robos, so small medium businesses and remote office branch office scenarios. And this solution is for who look to bring in quick deployment and operational simplicity to virtualization workloads and reduce related expenses. So basically, I would say that the first, if somebody would ask me who exactly gonna buy this, who exactly gonna get this into his system, I would say that this is the guy who is actually starting his some like new company or something. Because this, in my opinion, this hyperconverged platform is perfect fit for the one who's starting his new company because it allows to bring in the whole infrastructure within a days, literally. Um, Also, that might be an option for the ones who are like scaling out their production or just starting new project within their environment, etc. Well, actually, that can be a perfect fit for like a lot of scenarios, but mostly we are on SMBs and robos. Nevertheless, I would say that we are the enterprises could be the customer of ours, since enterprise. Well, who exactly are we talking about when saying enterprises? Usually, we are assuming some big companies. And a lot of you guys could actually think that enterprise business assumes having huge data center. Well, that's opinion not always correct. Let me clarify. Let's say we're talking about some big company with fast food company with a lot of branches. Let's call no names, right? And they should have something for their accounting system in each branch. And that branch shouldn't be big. That shouldn't be really big. That should be small. And that's when the hyperconverged platform hits in. Um, so as you guys know, or as you may know, or as you don't know, but I will say it right now, hyperconverged platform usually starts with the two servers that are running in hyperconverged mode, which mean that the compute and storage layers come together within those, and that doesn't take much space. So enterprise businesses could get that solution into their business for like multiple branches. So that should do the job for them as well. Okay, let's move forward. So hyperconverged platform. Right now, I'm gonna tell you what exactly I was talking about when saying that there are actually two scenarios, two options of hyperconverged platform. So first of all, that is going to be, whoop, I've got a mistake on my slide. I'm really sorry. So replace the VMware with a Hyper-V on this slide, please. And whoa, yeah, looks like my Yeah, looks like my slides are messed up a little bit. Pardon. So this option is actually for Hyper-V, and just disregard what is with the VMware in the list and replace it with the Hyper-V. So the first option is a Hyper-V based infrastructure, which include the Hyper-V as the Hyper-Converged platform, or as the hypervisor platform, StarWind Virtual SAN as the shared storage, the Veeam backup and replication as surprise, surprise, backend replication solution, and 5.9 for the management. For the VMware solution, we have the hyperconverged platform based on the VMware, which includes the VMware ESXi as the hypervisor solution, which include the StarWind Virtual SAN again as shared storage, again Veeam backup and replication as backend replication storage, and for management we are providing the vCenter, which is pretty redundant in my opinion, but if not, let me know. We will obviously consider your opinion, and maybe somehow we will provide you with an options that you might offer. Okay, so uh, Mahit just asked, shouldn't this say Hyper-V instead of VMware? Yes, it should. That's exactly what I said, that I have messed up the slide a little bit. So instead of VMware on this slide, should be the Hyper-V. Thank you for noticing that. Okay. Hyper-converged platform overview. So first of all, why what exactly are like what exactly should concern you when you are getting the something new into your system? Uh, if we're not talking about the hyperconverged platform that you know that we provide, usually people are considering something branded or not branded, and usually people are picking up not branded solutions, which means that they are building up the servers by their own. And usually we are calling this mixed hardware solution. And that can actually fail because you don't know how to support it, and the solution itself may be untested in the end of the day, and it's actually tough to troubleshoot. Let's go through them one by one. So, how exactly that should be might be unsupported? First of all, you believe me, you have no idea about the full list of compatibility or incompatibility between the hardware or software components. For example, you can get like one network interface card that can run management, which will be like uncompatible for any reason with any other component. And every day when you will call support of the one of those components, uh, you will get reply something like, hey, you've got something that's unsupported, which will give you a lot of headache. And well, moreover, to get to that point, you actually need to find out how exactly what exactly goes wrong there. So let's imagine that you've got like servers from one vendor, like disk from another one, network interface card from the third one. You've got obviously some kind of Windows there. You've got some shared storage, something, something else. And just imagine you have to, you may face the issue that will affect the, let's say, virtual machine that runs on the shared storage, and that issue occurred during some kind of backup job. And the virtual machine, well, obviously it runs on some kind of hardware. So you got 4 or 5 or more components there, and you have no idea who exactly should you address that issue. So you should go through the every support of every vendor. That is what I call tough to troubleshoot, guys. And since I have like 5 years experience in working as a support guy, oh, believe me, that's tough. And you know, Well, let's say I would definitely don't want to be on the place of that system administrator that would, you know, would run through that process. Uh, okay, so let's get to the good side of the question. Hyper-converged platform is a pre-configured solution in a box, which means that if you are getting something, you get everything from the box. What exactly are you getting? 2 plus hypervisor host as a failover cluster node. To be more exact, that will be like at least 2 clusters, because you've got 2 plus nodes of the hypervisor cluster, and since those nodes are simultaneously running the storage, you will get 2 plus nodes of the shared storage cluster as well. As a result, you will get the high availability of the whole system or fault tolerance of the whole system depending on the software configuration. And right here, I'd like to make a quick notice that StarWind itself, StarWind Virtual SAN itself, provide the fault tolerance on the storage level, which means that I will provide, which means that the options, high availability or fault tolerance depends mostly like on other components. Well, to be more precise, more exact, mostly that depends on the hypervisor itself, on the client application of the StarWind Virtual SAN storage. Pooled storage. Well, I think I said enough for today about for now at least, about the pooled storage. That's StarWind redundant networking. Obviously, to be more exact, everything is redundant there because you got 2 servers, you got redundant network interface cards, you got like everything redundant because no single point of failure. That's how would I actually call it. And centralized management. Again, 5.9 or vCenter, you got one console to rule it all. Well, to be honest, except StarWind for now. We are working on integration of StarWind within the console of VMware, but at the moment we have the SMIS agent, which allows to build into the System Center Virtual Machine Manager, and I'm pretty sure that we'll figure something out with the 5.9 guys. Just give us a little bit time. And the last option on the slide is the single vendor for sales and support. Well, and as a support engineer, again, I think that this is the most cool option, like from all the list, because regardless what exactly going to happen, you're just like emailing us, calling us, contacting us in any available way, and we are supporting you guys. We are giving you assistance. We are giving you like everything. Moreover, this system comes pre-configured. So before giving you the servers, we are actually asking, hey, like, what do you want? What do you want to see there? You want like Hyper-V in that way? You'd like to iSCSI initiate and configure it in another way? Just tell us all the options. Well, and obviously after we are finding out what exactly the user wants, we are doing that. Okay. Okay, so right now I'd like to go through each component in the system like one by one. So first of all, let's start with the hardware, the cornerstone of each system. So um, right now we are dealing with the XByte company who are providing us with the Dell servers. It's actually refurbished servers. But first of all, I know many of you are thinking like refurbished, really? You mean something that was broken and now you fixed it, and that come with the scratches and probably some kind of bruises and blah blah blah. Uh, mm, and well, that is true when you think of the customer electronics like cell phones or TVs or washing machines, anything else. In our case, in case of Xbyte, those servers are comes from the canceled orders, um, since large generation servers no longer need overstock from the OEM partners, which means that those servers haven't been in use, like in used. Maybe they were like launched once, but we can say that about any electronic device in the world. Uh, which means that technically they're new. So baseline here is don't, but guys, just don't be afraid of the refurbished word here. They are not like consumed, broken, misbehaving, or something. Okay, and right now on your slides you can see the servers that Xbytes actually provides. Um, I'll hang it a little bit, and actually you can see the benefits of using the Xbyte. It's actually in the table from the left. So unlike purchasing from manufacturing, the options that Xbyte provides is like same-day shipping, 40 since we have like we have, right, the hardware parts in a stock. 14 days, no hassle returns, real-time inventory, software imaging, exchange server buyback, and exhausting, list owned. Uh, and from the right side, there is like a big bunch of information and the servers that the Xbyte guys like have. And theoretically, they can. Well, I see no reasons why they can't be used to build your own hyper-converged platform. Okay, so the next part is 5.9 Manager, which is used in case of the hyperconverged platform for Hyper-V, to manage the storage. And well, there is actually a lot of benefits of using the 5 Manager. We have like tons of the webinars and most of the webinars conducted with the 5.9 guys. By the way, they are great guys there. I had a couple of conversations with them, and they have really good support guys. But let's get back to our topic. They've got a lot of like features, benefits, blah blah blah. But I would like to concentrate only on those ones which seems like the biggest, the major ones for me. So I'd like to filter all of that marketing things for you. So, the first thing in the list is the manage entire virtualization infrastructure. And that honestly, that is first thing that management software should do, and that is what 5.9 Manager actually do. Well, I mean, let's be realistic. Not everybody who say that we're doing that actually doing that. But 5.9 is not that type guy, that type of the vendor of the company. So with 5.9 you can literally manage everything that you have in your infrastructure, like data centers, clusters, single host, like separate host, right? Separate virtual machines, even network, and even the disks, like SATAs or any spindles, any flash. And which is actually kind of really cool, is really intuitive interface, and it well for me it looks and feels like VMware vCenter, for a familiar experience. Okay, next thing is the summary view. So it actually gives you something like summary view, so you can get a couple of screens to see how the health status of all of your infrastructure. So it gives essential system status and alarms in a convenient visual format. Visual format is actually like a key point here as well, because it's much easier to quickly analyze a picture instead of like reading through the like 4 sentences. Well, just conveniency, just easy in use, nothing more. You can actually do the different views for different levels, like data center, separate for data centers, separate for clusters, separate for the host VM, blah blah blah. There is a sortable tab view that can be filtered by host, VMs, and clusters. There is a detailed info about the health state of clusters, hosts, and VMs in convenient graphs. Well, I want actually, you know, all of that give me, all of that sounds, well, for me, it sounds like really great. And to be honest, I don't even know what to add here. So that's up to you. Okay, next, cluster management. Uh, which gives you like ability to review cluster information, pause, resume cluster nodes, live migration, add, remove VMs to from cluster. Well, that there was actually like host management, VM management in the list, but I just dropped them. So right here, I'd like to say that you can manage everything from the VM from the 5.9 manager window, like and everything that you actually want to manage from within one window, from within one like user interface of one vendor. Also, you can monitor everything, since 5.9 Manager gives you a graphical dashboard that shows key system status indicators on host and VM levels. 5.9 Manager has got the customizable display parameters for virtual machines, or thus you can organize your view by virtual machine, operation system type, well, and more. 5.9 Manager gives ability to exclude certain hosts from monitoring. Obviously, if there is something that was configured to once to live forever in that state, you don't want to see it. It will just like break your stats. That's it. Um, and also, it gives you all the historical data stored in the database, which is like convenient in my opinion as well. Which is really cool. 5.9 Manager have the best practices analyzer, which is built-in scanning for the Hyper-V and other roles, which actually provide the configuration according to Microsoft best practices, and it gives you like recommendation how to configure your system, which is again really useful for the system administrator, since he shouldn't do the all the analyzation process by himself. Uh, okay, and let's get to the next slide since I'm done with this one. Oh, yeah, obviously. It had got a all login, which means that everything that was done on the system is logged. So you can trace everything and you can find out when exactly something went in, wrong or just in not desired way. And as I said initially on this slide, there is like a lot of benefits. So to read them all, to view them all, please visit 59.com /manager. Okay, the next is Veeam and backup and replication software. Um, I'll play Captain Obvious here. The key features are backup and replication, and recovery and complete visibility of backup infrastructure. Let's go through them one by one. So, backup. Veeam backup and replication creates lightning-fast virtual machine backups while also giving you multiple backups options to meet your needs. Network mode (NBD) is available for any infrastructure organization, but Veeam also provides virtual appliance (HOTAD) and direct SAN access mode that provides direct access to production storage, taking a load off of your management network and hypervisor host, and maximizing backups performance. Plus, features such as source-side duplication and compression, change block tracking, parallel processing, automatic load balancing, and the exclusions from swap files ensure the fastest and most efficient backup possible. The next option is replication. Advanced VM replication is complement for VMware or Hyper-V backups with ready-to-use VM replicas to get a near continuous data protection, something like near CDP, and enhance your business continuity. In case of virtualized application failure, you can immediately switch over to its exact copy and run it either on your main or remote site. Veeam's replication allows you to: first, achieve less than 15 minutes RPO from any virtualized application. Second, maintain image-based replicas either on-site for availability or off-site for DR. And third, but not the least, simplify replica failover and failback with delta synchronization and automated IP readdressing. Okay, the next is recovery. And by the way, it's a tap room here, so if you got some drinks, just grab them. I got a beer here. Good. So, recovery. With instant VM recovery, you can run any virtualized application on the vSphere or Hyper-V directly from the latest backup. Instead of making users wait while you're provisioning storage, extract the backup, and copy it to the production, you can simply start the virtual machine with Veeam's patented vPower technology. Yeah, that sounds like marketing things. But nevertheless, after that, use VMware Storage, vMotion, or Veeam proprietary quick migration to move, well, obviously this applies to VMware only, to move VM back to production storage. While many vendors claim to be able recover the virtual machine quickly, not all, well, actually not all the virtual machine recovery solutions are created equally. So, Veeam's instant VM recovery delivers first-to-market technology proven by tens of thousands of customers worldwide, support both vSphere and Hyper-V, and is storage agnostic. That's true. Does not require additional VMware storage vMotion licensing. And the last in our list of the VM backup and replication benefits is complete visibility of backup infrastructure. So, Veeam provides monitoring and reporting tools to help you discover and be alerted to issues in your IT environment before they have a significant impact on operations. Veeam helps you monitor health of VMware or Hyper-V environments, troubleshoot performance, and plan your backup infrastructure. And again, obviously, there is like more things to learn about the Veeam backup and replication, which I haven't included in this presentation. So to learn more, please use that link, which is veeam.com, VM backup recovery replication software.html. Okay, and the last in our list, but not the least at all, is StarWind Virtual SAN. Woohoo! Hooray! So, StarWind Virtual SAN is a shared storage that provides fault tolerance, great speed, blah blah blah. Making long story short, that's actually a really cool thing that does the shared storage, that doesn't require having anything like dedicated hardware, that doesn't have really strict requirement that have any like hardware compatibility list or something. So technically, you can run it on everything. In our case, you will run it on the Dell servers, which are fully compatible with the StarWind. And how exactly you will benefit is, well, for as I said, we do the fault tolerance on the storage level, which is really great because not everybody have like zero downtime in the event of the failure. Let's call it unplanned maintenance. We have the distributed caching. Well, we have the, like redundancy on the caching level, um, and there is actually like low, really low possibility that something gonna go wrong in case of I mean, the low possibility that the data will be lost in case of the failures in the production system. And fault tolerance is exactly what protects you from that. Also, we have like great speed. Well, first of all, it's because we StarWind Virtual SAN the Hyper-Converged provides the ability to run it in the hyper-converged mode, which gives you great speed since the IO request doesn't go into the network and are processed locally. And also the great speeds are achieved due to, as I said, caching. We have actually tiered caching model, so level 1, well, RAM caching and flash caching. I'm pretty sure that is all you wanted to hear to understand why exactly that thing is fast. And also the great speed are achieved due to a log structuring file system. We had like a tons of webinars and tap rooms and events and calls and everything else dedicated to that LSFS thing. So making long story short, log structuring file system fights IO Blender and uses the um, no, I would better call it involves multiple spindles to process single IO request, which makes it like fast as hell. And total redundancy is one of our another features. Okay, so let's get done with that. Right here is gonna be the like baseline of um, why exactly the hyperconverged platform that we do provide is really beneficial for a lot of people, or can be beneficial. Well, it's beneficial already for fewer users and customers, and you can be one of them. And I will gladly see you in our list of our customers. So, hyperconverged platform is configured. As I said, we don't want to give you something that you will want to configure. We're trying to maximize the configuration steps that depends on us. So we're configuring the Hyper-V, we're configuring the VMware, the StarWind, we're creating the cluster, we're double checking about the domain policy on the user side, and we're addressing that as well. Also, we are testing the solution before giving it to you on our own by ourselves. We are provisioning the storage. As I said, we are domain deployed, and as I said, we're cluster created. And which is not included in that slide, you got only one point of contact for the support purposes, which is really good as well. Okay, so looks like I'm done with my slides, and now it's time for question and answer session. And as far as I can see, we've got some questions asked already. So, oh, we'll get a question from Elvis. It's one of our customers actually. So, hi Elvis, how are you in there? Okay, so let me grab your question. number one here. So I'm quoting. I've seen references in your documentation indicating that a hyperconverged setup results in a faster I/O time by bypassing the network stacks if that storage is local. Isn't the vSphere host still accessing the VSAs through a SCSI and as a result networking stack? I currently have separate storage provided by StarWind and I'm interested in moving to hyperconverged setup. Elvis, that's actually a great question. So let me be honest, I'm not sure about that well, for 100%. As far as I know, yeah, it's somehow bypassing that. And but just to be sure, um, well, first of all, hyperconverged is definitely a good option. There are like tons of materials where exactly the hyperconverged architecture is way much better than computing storage separated infrastructures. And right now I'm going to talk about the computing storage separated versus hyperconverged. So the only benefit of computing storage separated infrastructure is ability to leverage the computing storage layer separately. So imagine, I'm sorry, I don't quite remember your infrastructure. So imagine that you have like four hosts that and each like four nodes that are running simultaneously the hyperconverged the VMware and the StarWind on top of that, and obviously each node is similar or maybe even identical to each other due to general cluster requirements. And let's imagine that you're out of storage for in some point in time. That actually means that you have to scale this model out and you should add not only the disk but the same computer sources to that new node. Um, but mostly that is the issue for like really huge environments, really huge environments. And I don't know, something like Verizon data center, you know, just to give some example, which shouldn't be your issue. As far as I remember, yeah, you don't have like much clusters in your system. Well, correct me if I'm wrong, obviously. Yeah, only two hosts. I was correct. Thanks, Elvis. So, uh, and as about uh, bypassing the network stack, I would appreciate if you could just email me directly that question and let's take this conversation offline. Um, I just want to be sure that I'm not misleading you here. Okay, Elvis, thank you. I hope we're done with that. Now I'm gonna move to the other questions. So, question from it was answered. Question from George Dancy. Support for conversion from physical to virtual machines. It's like P2V migration. It's possible. I'm not really sure what exactly part of Hyperconverged platform are you referring to, but everything is possible. Okay, question from Mr. Nguyen. Do you need to purchase Veeam license and can it connect to my existing Veeam infrastructure? Yeah, obviously you need to put Veeam license. Well, you can use the free ones, but as far as I know, that's a bad idea to use the free software in the production environment, especially on the mission critical machines. And yeah, it can integrate with your infrastructure. Okay, let me scroll the question. Okay, question. Well, mostly that's about StarWind Virtual SAN, but still. Question from NetFile Repol. Has there been improvements with the LSFS storage needs? When we have tried testing it many times, we have noticed that the drive fill up a few times. We had like a set of 40 gig virtual drive and it ballooned to 200 gigs. Didn't seem to clean itself. Okay, so yeah, that definitely was improved. Right now, the LSFS itself consumes like up to 3 times more storage. That's the price that you pay for the IOPS actually. Uh, well, if we're gonna go down deeper into calculation, uh, you will find out that actually cheaper than getting the high IOPS hard drives or flash drives. Because in my experience, LSFS boosted up the storage up to 9 times, not, well, 9, 10 times, while without even using the cache. So I think it's better to get 3 drives instead of 1 flash. Just my opinion. Again, let me know if you think I'm wrong. Key question from John. Can this product be used for SMPs? Right now I'm trying to Google what exactly the SMP is. I look stupid. I feel stupid. Managed service provider. You know, I think that's another question that is better to be taken offline. And probably I will even highlight, or one of my guys gonna highlight it on the future webinars. So I'd appreciate if you could email it to me as well. Thanks, John. Oh yeah, and Elvis was checking about guidance on allocation of resources to the VSA. Yeah, Elvis, just email me. I'll be glad to see your email within my mailbox. Uh, I will probably get one of my best engineers to work with you. Okay, I don't see any new questions. I'm giving you guys another minute while I will talk about something that doesn't really matter. Just to be sure that you have asked everything that you actually wanted. Uh, which movie are you waiting for the next year? I'm actually waiting for the Batman versus Superman. I mean, I just want to see how Batman will kick Superman's ass. That's it. Okay, the question from NetFile Repol. What is the guidance for the ratio of space needed for LSFS? You mentioned 3x storage needs, and that's exactly the 3x. So let's say you've got 2 node system with and you should store 3 terabytes of data. That means that you should have 9 terabytes of data on each StarWind server. 9 terabytes of usable disk space for LSFS on each server. I hope that addressed it. Well, okay, guys. Mr. Ripoll, I'll ask you to send, if you have any additional questions about LSFS and etc., just, send them over to me. So, thank you everybody for joining the step room. I hope that at least half of you is drunk already. Right now you can see all of the contacts on your screens. So I don't know. Again, thank you. Take care, everyone. I hope I will see you in the further tap rooms. Have a great rest of the week, everyone. Bye bye.